The lesson of the day, right? And we are talking about percent here. We are continuing our lesson on percentages, and this is leading towards us being able to talk about percentages as a whole. When we talk about percentages as far as discounts at a store, or percentages when it's talking about income taxes, right? Percentages as far as like when you go to a restaurant and you want to get a tip, and you want to give a tip at a restaurant, 15% tip, right? A lot of percentages are in the real world, so this is where we're going. So this particular lesson here is called percent more or less, right? More or less. More means the value is going up. Less means the value is going down, right? So here it says percent increase. So a percent increase is an example. An example is when you get a raise at work. They give you a raise. They give you more money. They say we're going to give you a 5% increase in pay. Okay? A percent decrease we see a lot at the stores. When you go to the store and there's a 15% off sale, 25% off sale during Black Friday, right? Save 10%. You're saving money. The price of the item is going down, right? So, first thing we need to know is here, our first lightning bolt here is we must change. We must change percent. We must change percent to rate. Now, a rate is percent, right? But it's percent changed into, let me erase this here, percent changed into a regular number of sorts, right? Because regular numbers cannot add with percent. So if you have $50 and they say plus 25%, it's not 50 plus 25, it's 50 plus 25%. So what we have to do is we have to change that percent into a regular number. So rate is R here. And the way we change percent into a regular number is we take whatever percent we get and we divide it by 100 to get a decimal, right? Again, to change a percent into a rate, we take the percent and we divide it by 100. So, for example here, we say, that's too much there. We'll go with that one. So, for example here, we say we're going to change 46 point, still too much. Let's change it to this one. We're going to say change 46.7%, and we're going to divide it by 100. 46.7% divided by 100. So we are going to take our calculator here, and we're going to use the decimals calculator that you all have on Schoology, right? And we're going to say 46.7 divided by 100, right? And automatically, look, without even having to hit enter, we get the solution to 46.7 divided by 100 is 0.467. So I go here and I'm going to write 0.467. And that is our rate for this particular example. Okay? Now, the two key things that we're going to have to remember when we're going to use this formula here for increase or decrease is we're going to remember that A is the original value. That's the number that we start off with, right? A is the original value, the number that you start with. And R, which we know we just covered, is the rate of change, right? The percent of change. Something is going up 5%, something is going down 15%, is R. All right. So here we go. Let's go to our two examples. So here we see increase. Okay? So we see the word, let me change this color here. We see the word increase. So when we're going to increase something, that means that we're adding to it, right? If you want to make a building that's 2 stories into 5 stories, you're adding 3 stories, right? So you add, right? When you increase, you add. And like we remembered, let me change this color here. A was the starting value. That's the number that we start off with. And R was the percent divided by 100, right? Remember, R is percent divided by 100. So, first thing, automatically, before I read the problem here, I know that I'm going to need A and I'm going to need R. So let's read our question and see what we have here. So, what is the result when the number 11 is increased by 8.8%? So, what number are we starting with there? It says, what is the result of the number 11? Right? Look at that. This is our starting point. This is A. A is equal to 11. Is increased, right? So we know we're going to add here. Good. Is increased by 8.8%. So we are increasing by 8.8%. So we can't just say 11 plus 8.8%. We need to change that 8.8% into a rate. And we do that by dividing by 100. So let's go back here to our calculator, which is on Schoology, right? So let's clear all. And let's say 8.8 divided by 100. And we get, look, 8.8 divided by 100 is 0.088. 0.088. And there we are. We have our A and we have our R. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use our formula here to find out, if we start at 11 and we increased 8.8%, where do we get to? So let's copy our formula here. Parentheses 1 plus R parentheses. The parentheses are very important, everybody. You have to copy down the parentheses exactly the way you see it. So now, how much is A? Well, A is 11. So 11 parentheses 1 plus, how much is R? Well, R is equal to 0.08. 0.088. Just like that. So look at this. So now we're going to use our tools, guys. Let's use the tools that we have, which is our scientific calculator. So this starts with 11 parentheses 1 plus 0.088 parentheses. We're going to copy that exactly the way we see it on our calculator. So we're going to clear all, and we're going to say 11 parentheses 1 plus 0.088 parentheses. And look at that. As soon as I typed it in, whoop, look at that. We get 11.968. So this gives us 11.968. And this 8 is going to tell this 6 to round up to a 7. So my final answer is 11.97. And this is our solution, right? What is the result when the number 11 is increased by 8.8%? You get 11.97. Sorry about that. You couldn't see that. So imagine you are paid $11 an hour, and your boss says, hey, I'm going to give you an 8.8% raise, increase. That means that your new pay is going to be $11.97. Perfect. Perfect. So make sure you have that copied down exactly the way you see it. So this is an increase, right? It said increase. So now let's see what happens when we see a decrease. Right? So this here says decrease. So decrease means the numbers are getting smaller. We're going down, right? A decrease usually is a discount at a store. The price is going down. But just like the other formula, we're going to start with A, which is our original number, times 1 minus, right? Because it's a decrease. R, the rate, parentheses. Exactly the way we see it. So the two things that we need is we need A and we need R. So we're going to say A equals R equals. So A, as we remembered, A is the original value. What is the starting number here on this second example? So our starting number, what is the result when the number 73, oh Lord, come on, here we go, when the number 73 is decreased? So 73 is what we're starting with right here. Now our rate, we need to convert this 37% to a rate. So we're going to convert it by saying 37 divided by 100. And what does that give us? Well, let's use our calculator again. Let's clear all. And we're going to say 37, exactly the way I have it written down, divided by 100. And look at that, 0.37. So 0.37. Look at that. So I have my A and I have my R. Okay? So let's not forget that 73 is decreased is important and 37% is important. So since we are decreasing, the number is going down, we're going to use this formula here. So we're going to say A parentheses 1 minus R. Decrease is minus, right? So now let's substitute our values. A is equal to 73. So we say 73 parentheses 1 minus, what is our R? Our R is equal to 0.37. 0.37 close parentheses, right? The whole thing. I have to write 73 parentheses 1 minus 0.37 parentheses. The whole thing is going to go in the calculator. So let's see. So let's clear all, and we're going to say 73 parentheses 1 minus, what is it again? 0.37. 0.37. Oops, look at that. It's got to be inside 0.37, close parentheses, and I get 45.99. So this one gives me 45.99, which is practically 46, right? So 46. There you go. Look at that. This was a decrease. So we started at 73 and we decreased 37%, right, to 46. Look at that. Look at that. So imagine something costs $73 and you have a coupon that says 37% off. You're going to pay $46. Okay? And that right there, kiddos, are our notes for percent, more or less. Remember, percentages we see all over the world in the real world, right? Percent increase and percent decrease. Thank you very much.